So our next speaker's organization has been a wonderful partner of the children's movement for a long time. Christy Biffar is an early childhood consultant for the Florida Grade Level Reading Campaign, an initiative of FACT. She holds a bachelor's in family, child, and consumer services from FSU and a master of science in birth to three development and intervention. Works closely with the existing and developing community campaigns for grade level reading, ensuring access to resources needed for the right reading outcomes for kids. So Christy, over to you to talk more about how we're aligned as a state.
Great, thank you. I'm so excited to be here today to share the information that we have from the Grade Level Reading Campaign. I am part of it, and many of you know our Executive Director, Jen Faber. She couldn't join us today. She's actually presenting a training up in Escambia, and so I offered to take over this part for her. So if you're not familiar with the Florida Grade Level Reading Campaign, we focus on moving the needle on the third grade reading levels in three main solution areas, and that'd be attendance, school readiness, and summer learning. If you'll flip to the next slide, you can see how we cover the state. So you can see the areas highlighted in orange are the counties served by local GLR campaigns. We have 24 campaigns active around the state, and that covers 35 counties because some of our campaigns are multi-county organizations and groups. So we have all the way up in the Panhandle where Jen is right now in Escambia, across, and then down south along the coasts. And we have one or two more that we're working on to kind of fill in that central Florida area. So we're excited to see them come on board. But one thing to note is over half of Florida's children are in GLR communities. So we're excited to know the impact that we have and how we can see this spread across the state. So if you go to the next slide, I'm just going to take a few minutes to introduce you to some of the functions that we are focusing on right now, some of the things that we're offering. We primarily provide training and technical assistance to our campaign communities around the state, and some of our more tangible aspects are what I'm going to share with you today. As people were coming into the meeting today, I saw many familiar names in there. So if you are a GLR campaign community, I'm excited to see your name there. Rakia, I see you. I saw Nancy Walsh. I saw you, Marie. So I'm glad to be surrounded by friends. So this will be familiar to you, but if you're not familiar yet, I'd love to share with you this early care text messaging service, and it is a free text messaging platform for parents or providers for children birth through age 8. And what happens is parents sign up, like I said, it's free, and they just get 2 to 3 text messages a week with simple information to remind them what to do with their children to promote their health, their wellness, their literacy skills, their overall child development. So it's a really helpful tool. Recently, we offered the opportunity for co-branding. So our partner organizations were able to, you can see the brochures in the slide, they're able to add their logo on the front of the brochure and our information will be on the back. And they were able to access 1,000 brochures in English or Spanish. And they get the digital copy of that brochure as well, so they can print them on their own. Recognition on our website as an early care partner. And then we're also providing technical assistance webinar for those that are taking part in this to help market this to families. And this is just a really great way. We always talk about, parents these days, I'm a parent as well. We have our phones with us all the time, right? And so this is kind of like a little virtual coach for parents or caregivers, a coach in your pocket to kind of help you remember, what do we do when we're waiting at the doctor's office or at the grocery store? Can we read signs to the kids? Can we do letter scavenger hunts around where we are? How can we engage them throughout our everyday activities, but also providing that support? Maybe they are needing support on crying infants. Maybe they need support on toilet training. Maybe they need support on bullying in schools or encouraging their child to read. So early care is a really great way to get that information into the hands of the parents and caregivers. So we had a co-branding opportunity. And if you go to the next slide, we will offer this again in October, and it's a very simple form to fill out if other organizations want to participate. We had early learning coalitions, we had local school districts, we had a United Way, we had a variety, I think we had 17 partner organizations take advantage of this time. And so that we'll offer that again in October. We also have on our Dropbox, and I can put the link in the chat when I'm finished speaking, but we have our early care folder. So even if you're not a partner that's co-branding, you can access all of this information on early care brochures, posters, flyers that you can share out. It has our branding on it, but you can still share that out with your community. So you can access that in there. If you want a demonstration of early care, of what these text messages would look like, you can text the words early care with no space to the number 52046, and it'll send you a quick example of those messages. I think it's about 10 of them in a row, just so you can see the variety of what they look like. But also to enroll your own children, you could text the word learn to 52046 or aprender in Spanish to 52046 to sign up for the Spanish version. So then all those messages would come over in Spanish, which I think is really helpful. So that's our early care platform, and I'm happy to answer any questions that you may have on that. I mentioned that Jen is in Escambia right now, and one of the things she's doing actually tomorrow there will be offering this training for the first time. She is hosting a training on promising literacy practices in K-5 out of school time programs. And so Jen is available to visit your organizations in your community to help provide this in-person training on the promising literacy practices document that we've created. And this guides people through 21 literacy practices that are aligned to the 7 categories of the Florida Standards for Quality After School Programs. So we have many, many wonderful after school programs around the state. This helps those providers focus on what to do for literacy initiatives and how to support those efforts in the program. So this is a training that folks can hire Jen to participate in and bring to their community. If you go to our next slide. Oh, I believe I'm at time, Garrett said. We do have also our DCF training that we've offered supporting literacy and school age programs. That's available on the DCF website. If you want to go to the next slide. I want to get to our World Reader one that I'm really excited about. If you can go to the next slide. There we go. So this is our last one that I'll really focus on. World Reader provided an opportunity called BookSmart, and this is a free digital library that you can access. You can scan the QR code or go to booksmart.world/fact and access that, again, digital books in English and Spanish that can be accessible on any device, mobile or desktop. And that's a free digital library that you all can access as well.